As expected, the House has passed cut, cap, and balance over the objections of minority Democrats. Here to discuss that with us on the phone is Representative Jim Jordan. The Ohio Republican is serving his third term in the House, and he's chairman of the Republican Study Committee. Welcome to Newsmax again, Representative.
Good to be with you guys.
House Democrats say cut, cap, and balance is a gimmick they call duck, dodge, and dismantle, and it's designed to benefit the wealthy. How do you answer that?
That's just flat wrong. I mean, someone tell me what's not common sense about the idea that the government spends too much, so we should reduce spending this first year. We should limit the growth in government, so let's put a cap on spending as a percentage of our economy as we move forward. And then finally, let's put that constraint in place like everyone else has. Let's have a balanced budget requirement put in the United States Constitution and ultimately begin to rein in politicians who want to spend and spend and spend, and it's spending money we just frankly don't have.
Since the Democrats have refused to pass any budget at all, isn't it they who are ducking and dodging?
No, of course. And again, they make a big deal of this out of our cap and balance plan. But every family, every small business, every township, every municipality, every county, every state, everyone has to abide by a balanced budget requirement. Oh, except that one entity that just happens to have a $14 trillion debt, the federal government. So, of course we need this. This is exactly the kind. For the president to stand up last Friday and say, we don't need a balanced budget requirement, we just need to do our jobs. Oh, really? That's worked very well the last 40 years, hasn't it? I mean, that's why we got a $14 trillion debt. So it defies logic to hear their arguments. This is not a Republican plan. This is a common sense plan. And I'll tell you what, 5 Democrats supported it last night. So it has bipartisan support on the floor of the House of Representatives and passed. And now we need Harry Reid to bring this up in the Senate.
Any chance of this thing passing the Senate, considering there are 23 Democrats up for re-election next year?
You know, the conventional wisdom is no, but conventional wisdom is wrong sometimes. And I tell people, if you always just listen to what the quote experts had to say, you would never really accomplish some of the greatest things that have been accomplished. I tell folks that the founders would listen to the conventional wisdom, there wouldn't be a United States of America. So of course it can pass. Every Friday night there's there's one team that's favored. Maybe the other team maybe they're really favored. And there's a big underdog. They still kick the ball off. They still play the game, and sometimes the underdog wins. So let's bring it up for a vote, President Reid. Let's have the vote in the Senate. Let's have a real debate, and let's see what happens. Let's play the game.
Does the Senate Gang of Six deal have any chance of passage in the House?
Well, it certainly doesn't have much support. I mean, that's a terrible idea. More tax increases, cutting our national defense. All the spending cuts happen in the out years. The tax increases happen the first year. And frankly, we haven't even got all the details. But this is just sort of what we know from what people have been saying and what we've heard. So I don't think it has much of a chance. Certainly not with me and a lot of the conservative members of the House Republican Conference. The other thing I would tell you is this: forget about the Gang of Six. Remember the Gang of 234. 234 members of the United States House of Representatives, in a bipartisan way, passed a cut, cap, and balance plan. That is the plan that will fix the problem. That is the plan that's on the table. That's the only plan that's on the table that can get that kind of votes in the House. Harry Reid, bring it up for a vote. Let's see what happens in the Senate.
There are some who say Obama is only interested in raising taxes and doesn't want to cut any spending at all. Do you agree with them?
Yeah, look, that's always the game Washington plays. They say, oh, we promised $3 in cuts for every dollar in new taxes. And somehow the taxes always happen in the short run, but the spending cuts are always in the out years, and they never quite materialize. And it's the old cliche. This is Lucy and Charlie Brown in the football, and the American people have said, wait a minute, we're not falling for that anymore. That's ridiculous. We're not buying this game you're going to play. You're going to try to play again. We want real spending reductions. We want real reforms. We want bold things done that actually fix the country, and that's exactly what the cut, cap, and balance plan does.
A brand new Rasmussen poll shows 75% of voters think if a deal is made to cut spending and increase revenue take from the wealthy, the middle class will get whacked with a tax hike. 3 out of 4 voters. Pretty significant number.
It sure is. Once again, proving what too many guys in here in Washington don't understand. The American people get it. They're smart. And they're not going to fall for these games. So quit playing the games, and let's do the things that fix the problem.
If there is no agreement reached by the August 2nd deadline, will the U.S. really default?
No. Look, in the month of August, there is revenue coming in, sufficient revenue to pay the bondholders, sufficient revenue to make sure Social Security recipients get paid, and enough money coming in to take care of our men and women in uniform who protect this country. After that, the president may have to prioritize, but the revenues are sufficient to certainly avoid default and to take care of those essential programs like Social Security, like our troops. So for the president of the United States to stand up and try to scare people is frankly just not what the president of this great country should be doing.
Obama recently said if there is no debt limit increase, he cannot guarantee that seniors would get their Social Security checks. Is he telling the truth?
Just flat out not true. As I said, there's enough revenue coming in the month of August to take care of Social Security, to take care of the bondholders, and to take care of our troops. And for him to suggest otherwise, I think is just completely misreading the facts.
What about this Mitch McConnell deal? The Senate Republican leader proposes letting Obama raise the debt ceiling unilaterally.
I think it has zero chance in the Republican conference. Every single Republican member I talk to is opposed to that. It is a bad idea. I think it frankly may have some constitutional concerns as well, but not the direction we want to go.
Is that something like letting the fox guard the chicken coop?
It sure is. It's given the president the basic veto authority and the power to do it all, and it's just not. It's just wrong.
Ohio Representative Jim Jordan, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
And thanks for watching Newsmax TV.